Coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the New Orleans Saints. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Check, 47. Let's go one more. Mike, 47.
First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the second round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football out of the backfield? Be able to get him in the second round, that's what I call a steal.
Well, this defense for the Saints, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Play action now. Winston. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. Past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Traquan Smith, 76 yards. And the Saints are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, a rested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top form.
I would agree absolutely with that.
Oh, wide open, complete. And in for the Ravens touchdown. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Here comes Deontay Harris from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number one goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Justin Madubuike. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Another try after the first down sack. Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And we will not see a run back here from Harris. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On play action, Winston. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Throwing again on second down. Tua. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. A solid stiff arm. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So, Charles, offensively, this group really playing at a high level, 7-0. We're still a long ways from discussing a potential unbeaten season, I think. But to use a golf expression, no blemishes on the card, at least to this point.
Yeah, unlike my teenage years where there were blemishes everywhere and the dermatologist was on speed dial. But I do think that they're going to have to start.
They're looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Lutz with the extra point. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
Now Dobbins again on second down. Able to power through.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
These two teams all tied after one. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner, and in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. This is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
And that will be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
On 1st and 10, Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara. And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On second down, Kamara. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Running with Kamara. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
Second and 11 now. Jameis to throw it. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Romeo Okwara. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, they'll come up now, 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And he will bring this back. It's a pick-6 and a Raven touchdown. Tucker now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Jameis now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot, force the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn.
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 41. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Rolling to his left. He's going to fire one. Corner of the end zone. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Well, he scrambled outside of the pocket and wondered what was going to happen there. He fired a dart. That's what happened.
He certainly did. Scrambled left, looked left, and then left it in the receiver's hands with some dispatch.
In the receiver's hands, in the end zone for the score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Winston now to throw on first down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Bilal Nichols able to record his 5th sack of the season.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks are starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game. Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
2nd and 10. Winston to give. It's Kamara.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Here's Winston. It's brought in by Harris. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
A first down throw for Winston. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Saints get a late score here, the final minute of the first half.
Lutz good on the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. They'll find Dobbins out of the backfield.
And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. On play action, here's Tua.
He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield.
And out of bounds right around the 20. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
At the Saints 20-yard line.
40 seconds to
From the gun, it's Tua. Pushes him over. Touchdown! Cole Kmet as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens will extend their lead here just before halftime. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead now up to 14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started as they'll take over with just 13 seconds to go before the break. They go play action. Winston. He's going to let this one go deep. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, Charles, they're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
Again, this is Kamara.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
First down, they run with Kamara as he'll take it forward for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On the ground, Kamara. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind. And my goodness, another interception. Trey Flowers picks it. And the Ravens are going to take over here up near the 40. Tough one there. First drive of the 3rd quarter, throwing interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
He's going deep for Brown. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. Marquise Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown. Tucker with the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And now here's another interception. Trey Flowers picks it. And he will bring this back. It's up. Touchdown. Tucker now to add the point after. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory. Right back out there doing the things that he does best and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Romeo Okwara in on the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
A big connection on that one. 31 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep blow with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Look from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And Lutz puts this one through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's all but certain that this win streak is going to extend another week. Just another tremendous performance in this one. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 58 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. Harris to return. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Kamara, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. Now Book. It got his man complete. And they finally get him down at the other 46. A big-time play there for New Orleans. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on 3rd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Odafe Oweh able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is taken around the 12. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And it would appear that the open week a week ago came just at the right time as they have dominated the proceedings here into this 4th quarter. That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. What were they clicking on offense?
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Baltimore, they continue to cruise as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll have another home date next week as the Cincinnati Bengals come to town. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town.